Alrighty then, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Yell Man. So if you guys, I left it on a cliffhanger, sort of. I believe they were asking if something was a contradiction or not, I believe. But we're starting from save point. Okay, no. Okay, why would the murderer do such a thing? I forgot the question. What the fuck he asked? I'm guessing it's just to frame Matt on guard. I'm not exactly sure. It's to frame my client, Matt on guard, of course. To frame. Oh, okay. All right. I remember what's coming back now. All right. I remember what's happening. It came back to me right now. I apologize, everyone. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw Nickel Samurai in the costume. And if that was true... Excuse me, hiccups. Then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on his knife. Witness. Okay. Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy? Witness. Do you or do you not really did you not see the real Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corridia. Am I correct, witness? Haha! The way you think that you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? Porn! So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corridia. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag? You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? I'm guessing they're all thinking of Adrian Andrews, right? Who is this person? We brought her up already. This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh. I see. Was he jerking off? What the fuck's going on? The judge seems to be really into the article, if he called such a thing. The manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn, to confidentiality stuff. Witness, what in the world are you... Uh-oh. Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. Alright. I've got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. Uh-oh. Are you gonna lie to me? Please don't lie to me. So that's why I'm doing my own little investigation in secret, of course. But for what? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. What? Ew. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however. I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. He has like 4 different voices. Very well then, witness. Please testify about the secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really. It's not like we're 10 years old. Sandy Claus is not real. What? Secret information. Alright, let's break the walls down on this. Their helmet disappears randomly. That God is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, this is top secret. You get that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? Why the fuck would you say that? The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about the Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter, and found the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then that proves the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash the rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. How do I do that from her testimony? Well, like, obviously, there's a way. Weaseling! Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, and God is nothing but an average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. I'm done with this game. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Danger zone! Danger zone! Highway to the secret information. Secret information. That God is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. Oh, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be pressing everything. Why am I doing that? Well, Luna's having a dirt moment. A dirt moment? You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Yeah, he was like, oh, she's sucking my dick. Oh, I had sex with her. Look, it says right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A. But the name of the magazine that came from the gossip land. What are you saying, that the gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that news is 100% truth. I like this. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Especially all those blacks out there. What? Discrimination? When I do anything like that, and those dirty Mexicans. I should know I live with them, and I am one. Fuck. Anyway, on God will never get me to say touche. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you didn't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much. Some of my viewers don't think I know what that means. Scandal means to weigh someone, right? Well, that on God thought he was, could own a monopoly on the popularity. Why would you... Whatever. Might as well not question it. You don't have any proof that Mr. Edgeworth did any such a thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in such a shock, you can't do anything right. You're right. I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me the proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? Huh? We don't have anything like that. We don't have anything like that. I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought. And you are lecturing me about saying things without proof. You just give me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway. You cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. So, what do you mean by I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once the slimy woman came out of Walton's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need. Punish me. I want to be your slave. You're going to teach her a good lesson? Yeah. I was going to make her eat the damaged beams of my ray gun. Like this. No, stop! Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door at night that night. Oh, and top secret, you got that? Nobody else. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. Did she steal her camera? It's a secret. Even if I drill a hole in my brain, you'll never find out. Well, that wouldn't really do anything. But whatever. How in the world did that old bat get this secret piece of information? Do I press further? I don't even know. I would... Is it Lotta's camera? Because that is missing, and Old Bad could be the one who've done it. Because she knows this scoop, this secret scoop that no one else knows, you know. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know this, Miss Old Bag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that! Witness! I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out the secret, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. Oh, okay. She reported such a thing. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her... what? What the fuck is that word? Outrageo? Impressions. About the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous idea, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. That's it. That's the note. No, you've seen something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Yes, ham and cheese. Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. The infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with the evil On Guard. She said so herself. On Guard is his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. What? Eddie Boo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like an angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Ha ha ha! Edward. Oh, highbrow comedy for the best, right, people? Time to take it down a notch. Dicks, penises, and pussy. Dickety, dick. Dick, oh. Well, it was only a piece of paper, I suppose. We can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Nope, fuck her. Fuck the bitch. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find a way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct? Stole? What do you mean? Listen more carefully, you annoying brat. I saved a piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it! Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Old Bag? I don't believe that note is the only thing you've stolen that night. You've actually stolen my heart. There we go, there's some more comedy. But you stole the camera because it was with the camera. Miss Old Bag? That note was with the camera inside the case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, My sweetie 1600 camera disappeared on me. Why? Why? Witness! Excuse me, hiccup. What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it is the only logical that you have the camera too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? No, this is not the princess I'm looking for. Oh, well, I fucked that up. That is not the cancel. That is not the cancer. God damn it. The castle! What is going on? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, I fall in love, and I borrow things from other people. I guess she's like Maya. Let's just borrow this. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's what I noticed it said. Slangback celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard, it's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check the camera photos, hurry. Nothing but nudes. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to the case. Please, present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. Is this pants area supposed to be giving off so much slack right there? You noticed that, right? There's too much slack. If you walked in it, you would trip over. You're like walking like a little kid with too big clothes that you grow into. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The photo by itself does not prove that the person is the person in it is the defendant, however. In his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then the Nickel Samurai is the defendant. Oh, fuck, I just smashed my head against my keyboard. Fuck. My controller's about to drop and I caught it, but in turn I smashed my knuckles against the keyboard. What the hell? How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that the photo is decisive evidence against your client? If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, it would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a snake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange about it. There has to be nothing. If I say nothing, then I'm gonna die. But there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way the defense, debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Huh. Debunk with a debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did where did she take the picture anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objections. What about this photo is strange? Oh god, no! 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 I usually get these wrong. His legs, right? That's what I thought, right? I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. But what are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see the person's ankles, this would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The Nickel Samurai. In this photo could not have been man on guard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Ah! Please particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. Excuse me. His socks. You can see his socks. Ooh. He's a dirty girl. A dirty girl. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside the costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Rabble, 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 rabble. Alright, I think I turned things around this time. That's curious. Huh? What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only think that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then he's not thinking, then he's not taking any damage. Oh, fuck. My headphones are all fucked, man. They fell on my ear. They never stay on, you know. My headphones don't even go into my speakers. They go directly into my computer, so the slack pulls them down. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I thought it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside the costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out with this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Now! Obviously, it's Adrian Andrews. And if you guys are wondering why I'm thinking that, I don't know. No. The reason I'm thinking that, because obviously what the old bag said, she was waiting for someone to come out. To pounce and pretty much punish her and make her a slave. And also, Lada, I don't know if she's hiding in the teddy bears or if she was a said teddy bear. Was there a big teddy bear outside? I don't think there was, but maybe she was hiding among the teddy bears. She became one with the teddy bears. And obviously she is a, what do you call it, a gossip photographer. So meaning this, she obviously would want to get the scoop of what that article said to be able to bring more light to it, actually showing proof of them, rendezvousing together, I guess you could say. So, you know, it's my effect. It's the beautiful Adrian Andrews, also known as Lightning, or Ivy. Adrian Andrews. If you want to know who Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it would be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Ungard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ungard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ungard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used in the as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now! This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense motions to indict Miss Andrews in the murder of Juan Correia. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime! If this picture didn't show up, we would be fucked greatly, like a high school girl on prom night.
Order! 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 It looks like the trial has had a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kinda bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Raise an objection like a fucking boss when I create a new recording. Sorry. I was running on 30 minutes, pretty much. If I go beyond that, yeah. Let's just say the file becomes corrupt and I lose the footage. And you guys will just be hearing my sweet, sweet voice only, because I'm not re-recording it. Actually, I probably would, but I'd probably just record the game and listen to my voice at the same time and just press... Whatever! Alright, raise an objection!
Now then.
Please, Your Honor. Continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I cannot do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony till...
I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But... we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to be subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch up. What?
She's already there. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution lobby. She's the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew this was not, no way Edgeworth would have overlooked Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Looks like Edgeworth saved us on this one, huh? Alrighty then. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. What the heck? I drank my water and freaking ice came in. It was dumb. Anyway. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian, no way. Not cool, collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife was used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. Was she undress him? See, she could have also easily planted the blood-covered button on your hakama. Because she was up to she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Correa. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time the trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix. Titties, titties, titties. You think her motive is related to the Celestial Impact's missing suicide note, right? I was about to say mass suicide. Yes. Miss Andrews depends on Miss Impacts for her strength and will to live. But then Miss Impacts only killed herself. Sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Correa, victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews was... I think that's why Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Correa. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it in the first told us about the relationship? Better stated, Mr. Andrews' codependency with regards to Miss Impacts. It was Edgeworth. It looks like he's still the one in command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. He probably knows. Excuse me. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, as you please.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by the court. Miss Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Miss Juan Correa's room. She still got that card. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in the case, Mr. Matt Ongard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about the relationship of the victim. After all, it was the topic of the certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation with the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Correa. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan, but this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So this was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fray?
Reminds me of fishing. Did I say fray? What the fuck? I added an A to that for no reason. But I didn't kill him. No one has accused you of that. I've got a feeling someone will sue.
I think we understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then, witness. Please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Alright.
when I found the body.
When I found the body. I held it against me. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Long's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. Well, what I saw was naturally... What the fuck just lit up on my phone? The exact same scene as the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving the one thing.
And that is what the fingerprints on the wine glasses were...
What the hell? And that is what the... and that's when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pace. Disrupt her pace? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand? Alright.
Ruthless aggression!
Alright, anyway. Hey, hey, hey. Baby, I got your money, hey, hey. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at that time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini-performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. But I guess you could say he could have not been taken out of his room yet. Excuse me? It? What are you? Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. That actually wasn't basic grammar in my school. That was actually for, kids who, were doing extremely well in the class were allowed to do stuff like that. Which, I didn't understand what the hell it was talking about when I first did it, but I ended up learning late in high school, and it's actually easy, somewhat easy, once you get the hang of it, and you actually know what the hell the words means. My water's just filled with tiny bits of ice. What the hell, man? Whatever, it's dumb. I keep drinking a little bit and it goes into my mouth. Dumb. Alright. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was making an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Press further, why not? Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim. Sorry, but I don't have such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now, witness? What did you see when you got to his room? And there he was, his dead body. I was in shock. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Correa. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Easy there, Edgeworth. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see.
What I saw was naturally the exact same. What the fuck is going on upstairs? This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodging in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then what did you do next, witness?
Oh, I felt faint. Oh!
Juice? Who's got the juice? Yes. There was a bottle and a tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left in the wine glass and suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered a dead body from one Korea, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That's one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was this strange, what was she starting to say just now? Press further, brah. Miss Andrews? I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what the mistake was. Huh. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, I just... it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser. I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Oh, that ass.
Look, flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why would you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, the people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. What?
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this to and anything else to your you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't even touch anything else. Alright, sorry about that if you're skipping the music. I was going to go get some water. Alright. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try taking one's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Anyways, be mindful of the gap between the perception and reality. Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now. Well, she knocked over the vase, so the vase fell on top Wasn't on top of the case wet, I believe. I need to check the court records for that. I believe the top of the case was wet. On top of the lid. Only the lid, but it looks open in the picture, so she obviously opened it when it happened. So, we got something there. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. The only way to make her is to keep on the offense and not let up. The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake. It's time for the show. Sorry, so this is the beginning. There's this dead body. Crime scene. Was that what? No, or is it about her knocking a thing over, right? I was the one who knocked over the flower vase. I think this is the one I present on. I fell onto the guitar case. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is that correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? There's some problem with what I said? It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It is true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That ass.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about the guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. It's not there. The remains of the case are scattered on the floor. I mean the vase. And what is wrong?
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case. Oh, okay. What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing in the case at all. That may very well be, however. An empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to the case.
I seem there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need more details about the
guitar case? Obviously, yes. Tons and tons of information about the guitar case. The empty guitar case, I believe, is a crucial piece of this puzzle. I thought it said pizza when I was reading it at crucial. Oh. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to a court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. Alright. The guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose it must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. What the fuck?
Looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling. by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start cross-examining. Using anyway to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man.
Another thing! Anywho...
One more thing.
Furthermore...
What, you want transition words, bitch? I have a whole fucking encyclopedia of them from my college writing class. Fuck you, bitch. How about suck my dick, bitch? That's a good transition word. Whatever. I gotta start a new recording. I'm running on 25 minutes. Alright, okay, I'm going to clearly because if I press anything, am I gonna get anything out of her? I doubt I am. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Her codependency is coming through, huh?
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me. Playing with her Joker card. So you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well maybe. Why did you open a guitar case? Huh? Mr. Correa's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has stated multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? It holds watch the bright red guitar have the note inside of it. Oh my god. That suicide note that apparently Juan took. Alright, but getting back on topic. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. It's not. What the fuck? Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe you opened the case. The guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. The trial would be over in half of the time if you would just pay attention.
Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry. As for why I opened the case, I don't even know. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at the discovery of the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue depressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah. If we had a weapon to hit her with. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. What? I have a knife as a court record? I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the boss over. I'm trying to think. I'm either thinking this one or the one before are ones we may have to present something on. Or maybe that one. She obviously opened it for a reason, so... Maybe she checked it to see if the guitar was alright? Maybe she herself didn't know the guitar was in there either or not, but obviously I believe they said something along those lines. Stop, please. I suppose. I guess she's guessing herself right there. What the fuck is going on the TV? Holy hell, there's explosions and shit going on. It's like, it's making this weird noise. Sorry about that. Guitar case again, I guess. There's no way that you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would I say that? It's elementary, my dear Watson. Because the only fingerprints on the guitar case are those of the victim.
What is this, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? Would I forward to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at that time?
It was the night of the awards ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Miss Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
Okay. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove it? I was not wearing gloves at the time? Wasn't her fingerprints on the wine glass? I have your proof right here. The wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. If you took your gloves off when you poured yourself the glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open a guitar case? Did her fucking glasses explode? Ass.
Order! Order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head there this time. What do you mean? I believe the guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all your pre-assumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
It was a Les Paul. It was weird. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact... Excuse me. On the case.
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's unusual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into his misguided. Now, Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it was wide open in a photo of the crime scene. I'm sure that the guitar case was some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you could somehow substantiate your outrageous claims, correct? Please, enlighten us on why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well... Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar case was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the one only thing. You don't mean to suggest that the bright black guitar...
So you intend to push your theory of that case was was not empty. Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? My badge. My badge was inside the case. I'm thinking I'm thinking maybe there was it could have been a note, but why would he be keeping the note around? You know, when you think about, actually, you know what? I want to look at the guy again. Weird, huh? Looks like a damn Ken doll. I don't think there's anywhere here that makes me think anything's going on. Oh. Okay. Shit. So, all right. So you know, okay. In the beginning, we kind of with the old bag, with the whole, you know, they saw the Nickel Samurai coming out of the room, in which they thought it was on guard, and obviously whatever this camera is or whatever Lada is, took said picture, hiding with the bears. So, thinking about it, right? Let's think about it. They're talking about something else is in there, so maybe it wasn't. Maybe she didn't strip on guard of his outfit, because they would have seen her go into the room with the outfit on. So the outfit was actually in the guitar case when she put it on in there and then walked out. Right? Huh? That sounds stupid. This sounds stupid. I don't even think that's right. That's the only, like, really big thing that I thought of. I could think of the suicide note, but I don't know. It disappeared. People think Juan, like, hid it, or he hid it somewhere, but we don't know if that's the case or not. It's only speculated. And right here, we've talked about this, and her going to the room, and, you know. Or maybe I'm getting things mixed up. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. What do you gotta say to me, Fire Emblem Awakening? Do you want me to press on this? Yeah! Alrighty then.
This is a photograph.
Every time I look at it, makes me laugh. Yes, but what is important is what is in the picture, Your Honor.
In this picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was a Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right. Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to be doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a pretentious idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was striving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get the shot, correct?
You mean this photo?
Why are all the photos in black and white?
Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would something of that defendant be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case, of all places?
That's true. This is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It was stolen? It was a spare? I don't know, I feel like all this is like set up by some big, giant espionage place, and one knew some secrets, man. And you know, the person connecting them all together, man. And it's just like Hitman, dude. Yeah, brother. It was a spare costume, bruh. Man on guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. What?
Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain this costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had planned to bring the spare to the ceremony.
But why? The victim, Mr. Correia, was the Jamin Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him?
Maybe he was actually gonna go kill Mr. On Guard, right?
What would be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
So that's what he intended. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had a Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... I got a little flash of this when I was reading it. Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. So, some things are probably going to be going down then. I don't know if something was being planned. I'm not exactly sure. You know, that's why he probably brought his own suit. And that's why she was actually in cahoots with said guy to be able to do something there. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe he was going to reveal himself as the Silver Samurai. He was like, "It was me all along! It was me all along, Austin! It was me!" I don't know. Like, I was thinking that when it came up, because we haven't really done anything about the ticket. And, I don't know why the fucking ticket popped in my head. It's weird. But, I'm thinking ticket, maybe. Maybe he was gonna do something. Maybe show the guy as a fake, or dick, or cock, or suck me. Or suck me. Alright.
What is this?
On the night of the murder after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Correia himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for the very conference. Mr. Correia was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Rabble, rabble, look at that teal ass.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference. But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going
to confess something. And by confess, I wager he was going to reveal something about himself. I'm fabulous. It was just a big coming out party, just to slander the guy's view with the women. I'm fabulous! And then everyone, since they live in 2017, everyone is super hate, they super hate the gays. Because obviously the war in 2015, where the gays took over Canada. And they now they call themselves the gays and are a race of their own. And oh my god. He's gonna bet, hello there everyone, my name's Matt Angard, and I'm super fabulous. No, but he said he was gonna reveal something as himself, but whatever. Anyway, that's probably fucking stupid. That's so stupid, I'm done. Anyway, getting on. Was going to speak about Matt on Guard.
Yes, I guess that's what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's a public disclosure. Don't be that guy. Huh.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes. Just as you say, this press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one who asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You.
Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career, had it been revealed. What? He is gay. What is going on? My secret. It's so dark that I don't know why everyone cares about it. It's something natural.
And do you know what the secret of Mr. On Guard is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all. Protect Matt on Guard? What?
And yet, again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about the behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand. What? Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button, and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. What the fuck?
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. Wascally wabbit.
Is there any new objections? I feel that I can pass a verdict based on this testimony. Now then, Mr. Wright, if you please.
Looks like somehow everything was swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into it and turn her logic upside down. After I create a new recording. Look at Edward's eyes. They're so dreamingly scowlish. Oh, your eyes are so dreamy, Edward. When I saw the scene, why would she think it was Matt? Why? Why the fuck would she think it's Matt? Would you say that your intuition was that it was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something to you, you need 3 things. 3 things? 3 symbols! What? A motive, an opportunity, excuse me, to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things, through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach us that at school, at least not from what I can remember. May I continue now? Bitch. Yeah. So would you say this need come from the press conference? Came from the came. Yes, you know why Juan chose that event at the hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public beloved Matt on guard.
And you knew of this plan, did you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Matt on guard, Mr. On guard himself didn't know anything about the conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree, Miss Andrews. Please correct your testimony, if you please.
Grasping at straws now. Are we, Mr. Wright? Alright, anyway. Push up my glasses like a beast. Alright. Has Mr. Angon done something to hurt and betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Correia with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Matt on guard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard Wright. What the witness was witnessing, helping the victim, was his plan. It's none of your concern. Our concern. In any case, that means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Shit. It's too late to alibi. It's too late. But didn't you already testify earlier that Matt on guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so he could cover for Matt on guard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can't find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people in this courtroom, however.
Judge is glaring straight at me, huh? He's glaring at you, smart guy. Those titties. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the... I was about to say rape. Ripped the button from the gem and he raped it from the costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you're outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I cannot stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Why are you...
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add your information to your testimony.
During his fight with Matt. And how do you know that? When the ends of the threads of the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Or so I heard. Nah, I never heard that before, too. Why would Miss Andrews know about the case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that just because I'm prepared and you're not. And I thought I had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here, but where and what? But what you really did was stab a guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time.
Whoa, easy there, Phoenix.
Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? The witness could have disclosed things about Miss On Guard at any times. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corredia planned doing such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. On Guard as much possible as she possibly could. The witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. And please, stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Oh, really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy? I guess we'll see if we'll press a little bit more. You should know about this by now. But you'll need to be strong, decisive evidence to make her talk. Got it, Chief. I'm gonna pin you down this time, Miss Andrews.
Is there something to do with the button? Do I have to present the button somewhere?
Oh, it was ripped from the costume. It was covered in Cordier's blood and found in Unguarded's Hakama. There's the... What of Unguarded's murder scene? I still don't see the fucking knife. In his chest. Anywhere. I don't see it. Can you guys see it? I don't see shit! Juan's autopsy. I forgot he was strangled with his scarf. He didn't put up a fight, he was strangled and then stabbed, while he was then being strangled. Do I have anything to do for that? I don't know. I don't think anything has to do with Celeste impacts his suicide as of right now. I think we're done with the wine glass. This guy had a fight with him, right? She said... There's one where she said she had a fight. The button was ripped off during the fight. But he didn't have a fight. He got fucking strangled and then stabbed. It wasn't a fight. It was made to seem like it was. Because everything was planted, remember? To make it seem like it. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife was stabbed and the victim was done after the victim had already died. Oh, okay.
And what does this mean?
Let's examine the evidence. The button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means... it is impossible that the button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way the button was ripped off during the struggle. The button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died. What does that change? Let me ask you a simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Excuse me. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did it serve? What purpose? We now know that the button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't he? Wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was that?
To pin the crime on guard, right? Or yeah, it was to pin the. Oh god, yeah, pin him down. Do things to him. Alright, enough licking into my microphone. Alright, this is the only logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would be bloodied, would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. On Guard was set up. But the real killer, of course. By the real killer, of course!
And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer, then?
Whoever killed Biggie and Tupac, most likely. Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to the point. Phoenix, you can let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer. The person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard was... The bitch, Adrian Andrews, I believe. I think it is, maybe, yeah, I'm going for it. Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you! You are Miss Corradius Killer! What? Oh, her glasses do explode. Interesting.
Order! Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Oh, how preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion to Mr. On Guard naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with them, and knew which knife to take, was you. Oh, another pair of glasses. Sorry, it happens sometimes. When my stress levels go up, it fucking explodes on my face. Then, what about the button that was found on Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body, or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have had put such an incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Yeah. The only person who could have put the button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you! Yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Oh, yeah. Too bad she's wearing regular clothes and just putting it on seductively. There's a knife. I see it now. Alright. The costume was used to hide the real identity of the, as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, I. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And if it was you who provided that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving a print, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe the Nickel Samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be he would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. That's right, get cold, bitch. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please, stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes, you're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with your avoid self-incrimination, but allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damaging to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room, Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understand? Alright. Alright. That's it. That's when Franziska planted the idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of questions?
Evidence? What is so humorous? What is going on? Humorous, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You've yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Correia.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Correia?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what a crime it would be guilty of due to my silence. No! She's talking that definitive attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
Oh, shit.
Alright.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Andrews has refused to testify. On a defense theory that she's the actual murderer has been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing that could do, and that is to declare recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter. At tomorrow's trial.
Tomorrow? We don't have tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your Clyden is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as a witness refuses to testify. Now then, the court is...
It's not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It is true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she would be guilty of, then she had no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that's very true, but...
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I cannot help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want you to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again, as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what's about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good idea, I couldn't get a good read off of him. Is he a friend or foe, or just, I don't know. He's doing what he did in the Silver Samurai case, if you guys remember back when, if you've watched it or played the said game. He actually stood up for justice instead of just, his perfect record. And he actually helped Wright. Wright and him double-teamed, I forgot the female's name. I believe, she was French or something like that. I can't recall. Whatever. Alright. Spider-Man, friend or foe?
The court acknowledges the prosecution request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
Goodness. Alright. So I think I'm going to chill out right here. We'll do the testimony another time. I'm running on recording a little bit. I do need a break from talking because I can't go over the 2-hour mark, or my voice is going to be destroyed forever, and I won't be able to record this as soon as possible like I usually would. But that's no problem for you guys, because the videos are probably coming out every single day for you. But for me, I need to rest my voice and get ready for what's to come, which I have a feeling is going to be a nice big storm. So, hold on. You'll guys see the first talk of it, but that's fine. Alright, suspending the game. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this episode. Obviously, not as big of a cliffhanger since we kind of know what's going on, but until next time, as always, stay frosty, people.